Who could have imagined they were there? Who could have predicted they would attack? And now, who would survive? Piranha, they're here. Piranha, they're hungry.
What's the matter with you?
Piranha, they're unstoppable.
Stop that! Hey, keep your hand out of the water.
What's wrong with the water?
The water is filled with carnivorous fish.
Piranha, they call them the devilfish, because wherever they go, hell waits below.
They breed like flies. There'll be no way to stop them.
Suddenly, no one is safe. And everyone must be warned. The water is now a human death trap.
2 people have been killed up there, and more have been killed all along the river.
You gotta believe us.
These are the man-eaters who go beyond the bite of all other jaws. Sharks come alone. Piranha come in thousands. Crazed by the scent of blood, they live by the taste of flesh. With razor teeth, they can strip a man to the bone in a frozen instant of terror. Piranha. They're here. They're hungry. They'll eat you alive. Who can stop them?
Hi, honey. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 31 Days of Monsters, day 28. We are counting down, and today we're going to be talking about Piranha, the Jaws ripoff, if you will, of 1978. This is interesting because Universal was about to release Jaws 2, and they got wind of this, and they tried to sue Universal, or sue this production company to keep them from putting this thing out. But Steven Spielberg saw it ahead of time, and he really liked it. He thought Joe Dante did a great job, and he probably thought it was better than Jaws 2. And so he got Universal to drop the lawsuit. Strictly, this is a B movie. This is a modern day B movie. It comes from the Roger Corman umbrella, his production company. Although I don't think it's American International who did this one, but he is one of the producers of it. And he's known for banging stuff out fast and cheap, but always makes a profit. And so many people came out from his umbrella, including this director, which is Joe Dante. Now, you'll remember Joe Dante. He also did a couple movies we've covered already, 2 of my favorites, in fact, Matinee and The Burbs. Not a big fan of Gremlins, but he did that too. And so many other people came out. The scriptwriter, John Sayles, came out from Corman. The special effects team in this was going to be Rick Baker, and he passed it on to Rob Bottin, who went on to do The Thing, among many other great effects, and Paul Tibbett, who went on to work for Lucas and with his stop motion animation. And there's some interesting stop motion animation in this, and we'll get to that in just a sec. Dick Miller, a perennial of the Roger Corman movies, and then by extension, when these younger guys came out, they would use these old guys from the Corman years too. So you'd see Dick Miller show up in just about every Joe Dante film. I mean, he's in The Burbs, he's in Matinee, he's in The Howling, he's in The Gremlins. So I love that. I love that loyalty when you see these actors, follow along with directors, sort of like the John Ford company that, when he did all the John Wayne movies and stuff. Jack Nicholson is another guy, James Cameron, who came out from under the umbrella of Roger Corman. Now let's talk a little bit about the stop motion in here. First off, this is a movie where you have to check your intelligence at the door. There's just no two ways about it. You just got to settle in and accept the fun. And that's one of the things I love about a good B movie is that your characters believe in the ridiculous premise of it. You're willing to believe it. As soon as they start getting self-aware, then it becomes a mockery of itself. So, okay, willing to buy this premise here. When we first encounter the piranhas at this secret military base where they were doing, I guess, weapons, they were going to use the piranha as a weapon in Vietnam. You'll see this stop motion like dinosaur type thing walking across the screen. He's small. It's this little character about that big, and he's walking across the table, and he pokes around a little. And of course, Paul Tibbett did that. But what's the point of it? That's the question that comes to mind. What's the point of that? Why is this little dinosaur here? And evidently, this was a homage to Ray Harryhausen in 20 Million Miles to Earth in a Ymir. And Joe Dante wanted to do more with this character. He wanted to have the character continue to grow, just like the Venusian Ymir in 20 Million Miles to Earth, and then at the very end have it be gigantic or very large. For what reason? I don't know. Oh, Phil Tippett. I'm sorry, I kept saying Paul Tippett. It's Phil. You're right, Spaceman. Thank you. What was it just seems so out of whack. They ran out of money, or they didn't have the budget for it, so they just left that part in there. And I think it's hysterical that you've got this little dinosaur creature running around and there's really no explanation for who he is. I love that kind of stuff about these, guerrilla productions, Fast and Furious. The piranhas are really cool in here. Most of the close-up stuff is done with little puppets on sticks, and they just go pop, 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 pop. And those I thought looked really cool. There was some good makeup effects once the melee happens in the lake. I guess it's not a lake. I guess it's a river that's dammed up in one area, forming a lake. But I'll tell you, the piranhas are not the most dangerous thing on that lake. The most dangerous thing on that lake is the people. Did you see? You don't have this huge area, and they're zipping by in their boats 100 miles an hour. You got one guy on a single ski. You got boaters going by. You've got divers that are diving in the area that these guys are zipping around on. I kept thinking to myself, somebody's going to get killed on this lake. It's like total Wild West on this lake. But this is like I said, it's a fun B movie. Bradford Dillman, he's great in everything. He was in a lot of TV shows and movies in the 70s. Just a really solid actor. And I forget the name of the girl who's in it. She was also in the Logan's Run TV series. She was married to Robert Urich. She's fine. She's no great actress. She was also one of the kids in Sound of Music. So yeah, she's fine. She gets the job done, but nothing great. But Bradford Dillman's definitely out of his element in here. He's a much better actor. But I have to say, for a B movie, you also have Kevin McCarthy in here. You've got uh, what's it? Keenan Wynn is in it. You know, there's some really good old actors in here. Um, so I like this movie. I think this is a good 8. As far as B movies go, completely watchable. It's fun for its era too. There's a nostalgia factor, and I believe they believe everything. So there you go. That's my rating. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see what you think. Anthony Mark says he enjoyed it. Dan Genovese is here. Chris Juliano, hi all. Really like this film. As a Jaws knockoff, it was actually quite good with great designs for the piranha. Yeah, I agree. Uh, Dr. Mass says this is a perfect example of how people do dumb things in horror movies. Vinzinger, aka Otaku, aka the Weeb Pillar. That's a mouthful. I've seen Piranha, and I have a DVD of it in Spanish with the other Piranha films. Like Iguanas here, Dragon Dancer. Some of the Piranha seemed hungrier than others. uh, Dr. Mask's Retro Elixir is here. He reminds everybody, since you all love monsters, to back my latest Escape from Monster Island right here. There's your link, folks. Thank you for posting that, Dr. Mask. Dan Genovese, Marcus Kellegrew. Oh, cool. Marcus was at the South Carolina Con. And he spent yesterday with Andy, Dennis, and Frega. Nice. Fine gentlemen all. Anthony Gonzalez Clark says Piranha. Nice. Glad you enjoyed Lake Mungo. Yeah, that was a good one. I think Lake Mungo and The Witch were the 2 surprises of the year for me. In a positive way. There were some really bad surprises too. I've been already working on next year's list. I think I have close to 10 movies already lined up for next year. Past Master Dan is here. Chris Juliano says, but Piranha 2 had them flying, and also by James Cameron, LOL. Yeah, Barbara Steele was in this. Later in her career. Creative Faye says the little stop motion creature was neat for the sec it was in the film. I thought it was cool. I love that stuff. Why it was there, I don't know. They never did explain. Tom Tuttle's Traveling Salvation Show says in a piranha, you don't have to go out for seafood. Just wait and the seafood comes to you. Yeah, that one guy, the camp counselor guy, he's standing there. He's got his pistol in his hand. Piranha comes jumping out of the water and goes, bites him. Chris Thacker is here. He says, hail the chat. Past Master Dan. I think I read his name. Okay, Vinziger is here. I'm not going to say your entire long name. It's a tongue twister. Okay, I do enjoy me some Jaws ripoffs like Grizzly, Alligator, you name it. Alligator was fun. Grizzly was boring. Oh, yeah, thought it was boring. L.E. The Final Metamorphosis says Piranha was a childhood favorite. Haven't seen it since then. It's on Amazon now. Amazon Prime. So you can, if you got Prime, you can watch it for free. Jasper Plan 9 has made it into the room. Awesome. And he owns Piranha on 4K. Nice. Did they clean it up? Because the one that I watched on Amazon was very grainy. So I hope they cleaned it up. And not just release the grainy version on 4K. I haven't seen this in 40 years. It's a total fun movie. Total popcorn and soda time. I own all the other Piranha films on 4K as well. They're all fun, especially the later films with boobies getting bitten off. Okay. Darren Wagner is here. He says, Marcus is fortunate to have spent any time with those gents. James Hunsinger is here. He says, hail. What's kind of funny is how much more we know about Piranha these days. They aren't exactly the little biting machines we thought they were. Don't forget, these were Army enhanced piranhas, maybe making them a little hungrier than the old one, the regular ones. Chris says, agree, Grizzly was boring. Alligator was fun. Yeah, Alligator was fun. Jasper says, put some Euro horror on next year's list. Like what? What do you consider Euro horror? I've had Korean films, English, of course. We did Australian with Mungo. Of course, it's not European. I think we've had a German one too. Japanese, of course. So I'm not sure what you mean, Jasper. Have I ever seen Prophecy? No, I have not seen Prophecy. Check out Ouija, Origin of Evil. I think you will like it. Skip Ouija, though. Okay. Well, Jasper says it looks great in 4K, so maybe they did clean it up. Lake Kick 1 says Grizzly 2 started the careers of George Clooney, Charlie Sheen, and Laura Dern. Full restoration. Nice. Darren Wagner says Lake Placid took the cake for me when it comes to giant alligator films. Betty White made that film a hoot. I didn't realize she was in that. I know I saw that like when it came out years ago. I don't think I've seen it since. Isn't Oliver Platt in that? Lake Placid? Ms. Stippling says to add Trap to your list next year. All right, I will look it up. Trap. All right. I will look it up. JDC is late. Chris Thacker is continuing to push Mr. Frost. Don't think that one's going to make it. Yeah, Dick Miller is great in this one as a corrupt mayor in this movie. I like the corrupt colonel. He shows up in his full bird uniform at this theme park opening, just so we know he's with the army. We don't see any other soldiers there, Not a big Bava fan, Jasper. Argento, Italian horror. Yeah, I can look into some of those. the Mario Bava stuff just doesn't work for me. I've seen a few of his, and I'm like, eh. Darren says, do not see prophecy unless you are chemically enhanced. Otherwise, you won't get anything out of it. Okay. All right. Chris Thacker says, put Angel Heart. All right, that's another one I'll look up. Angel Heart. Okay. Suspiria I did last year. I don't know if I did Black Sabbath. I've seen Black Sabbath, and I've seen Black Sunday. Didn't care for any of those. Haven't seen Tombs of the Blind Dead, though. I like how the coffee was the clue someone was there and not the live, healthy rabbit. He does that good crazy man trying to warn people. You know, they're here. You know, the pod people. He does that very well. But you know, when he had his relaxed scenes, when he's on the raft, I thought he was really good there. Just again, stupid decision. He knows better than anybody what these things can do. And what does he do? He jumps in the water and swims towards the kid. What are you going to do? What was your intent when you jumped into the water to swim towards that kid? You were getting towards him anyway on the safe raft. There's no reason to jump in the water. All right, gang. All right, we are getting ready to close her out. Tomorrow we have Gorgo. Then we have When Worlds Collide, and then we'll finish it on Halloween with The Thing from Another World. The Gorgo is that one has been cleaned up also. There's a really nice Blu-ray of it that I have, so I'm going to throw that onto the 4K Blu-ray player and have it up converted even further. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. That was a movie that was really, really bad prints that were going around on TV as when I was a kid watching it. It always looked all washed out, the color, and it looked like shit. It would have been better in black and white. But now that it's been cleaned up and enhanced and all that, it looks beautiful in color. So that'll be fun to watch. So, okay, gang, we got our homework. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you soon. Until then, have a good one.